If you want more engagement from your podcast listeners, make it easier for your listeners to engage with your content. I mean, it's often literally in the palm of their hands. Hello and welcome to another Podcast Pontifications with me, Evo Terra. The people want to engage with your content. I want you to give them an easy way to do that. And I'm going to walk you through something very simple that you probably think you're doing right now that you might not be doing right. So I'm going to talk to you about a way to get the engagement up on your show. Two things I have to tell you about as a part of that. One, this was inspired by my last weekend deep dive into one particular style of podcasting. A particular style that I guess I kind of started with, but I've gotten away from. It doesn't matter what that particular style and genre is, but it was because of that, as I was digging in deep, listening to things, trying to share things that I liked, problems developed. So that's one thing. The second thing is stay tuned toward the end because I've got an announcement about the show. Yeah, but it'll be in just a moment. You'll have an announcement about future episodes. Back to the issue of making your show more shareable. See, the challenge here is you guys all think that you're doing a great job with your show notes. You've heard this term bandied about, show notes. I'm here to tell you that many shows, perhaps your show, doesn't do a great job of show notes. And the specific show notes I'm speaking of are the show notes that appear in the podcast app. Whatever your listener is listening to, on that device, you have the ability to create text-based content that they can see. And listeners, while they're listening to your show, can then click through on whatever device that they're using and whatever app that they're using to see the information you have provided to them. So I'm not talking about your website, the page you've made for your episode. I'm talking about the actual episode descriptions that go inside of the podcast app. Now, if you're already scratching your head about that, stay tuned. Actually, if you're scratching your head about that, here's what I want you to do. Right now, as you're listening to this show, open up your podcast app well, clearly it's already open. You're listening to me right now. Open your podcast app. And don't go into the My Details. Go to your show. Your podcast app should allow you to continue playing this show in the background while you go back and navigate and find your own show because you're subscribed to your own show, right? Right. So go to your most recent episode of that particular show, and I want you to click through. I want to click through and look at the episode details, the text, the more info, the whatever else that's in there, and that's what I want to talk about. Because as I was listening to these shows last weekend, I was doing that. I was going through. Because a lot of the shows, when I got done with the episode, towards the end, there's a credit roll of all the people they want to thank that are involved with it. The voice of this was done by this, production done by this, and these studios, and all these various things. They're mentioning these people by name. They're mentioning them by name. I click through, and the show notes, the episode details, maybe a paragraph, and not a single name. I can't even search. Because some of the names, I don't know how to spell the names. I heard the names. I can repeat the names. I guess I could try a voice search if I wanted to, but, I'm still going to be the typey type searching like a lot of other people are. I can't. I just can't search because I don't know how it's spelled. Why not make links to all of this stuff? Your show notes that go inside of the app, the episode details, should contain lots of information. A lot of information. Specifically, if you say someone's name, if you mention someone, boom, put that name and a link to whatever is right for that person. Their Twitter page, their Facebook page, their website, their whatever. I don't really care. Just pick names and links to various things. These listening notes, these this microcopy, as I call it. These episode details are critical. Look, when you're talking to someone like I'm talking to you right now, you can say, pull out your phone. More information is available in the app you're listening to. You don't have to memorize episode number 129 and all that other stuff that is being told out there. Look, just pull out your phone and go click on the link that I've made easy for you. That's what your job as a podcaster is. Give them the directives. They have this device in their hands where they can get more information. That's how they're listening to your content. Tell them about it. And yes, I do recognize that a lot of us, me included, listen to podcasts while we drive. I'm not going to pull over and pull out my phone. I get that. But not everybody's driving when they're listening to your show. I get that oftentimes people are doing various chores. I'm doing dishes. My hands are full of sudsy. I don't have time to reach in my back pocket and pull out my phone just so I can listen to a link. I get that. But not everyone who listens to your podcast is washing dishes right now. If I'm driving or I'm washing dishes or doing something else when I can't get to it, you know what I probably can do? I can probably pause and back up later, or I can go back to it. I can say, where did I hear that? What was it I heard? You know what? Hang on. I have this device that actual content is still there. Let me go back. Find that episode, click through, open the show notes, and then get the information I was looking for. It's all right there. So, my ask to you is to go look at your most recent episode. Whether you produced it or somebody else produced it, I don't really care. Go to your most recent episode and take a look at the episode details. Are they good? Are they specifically about that episode? Is it a sentence and that's it for your 35-minute long show? Is that really great? No? Did you mention anything on that episode that you should have had links inside of your episode notes? Do you mention anyone by name that you should list? That's what that's for. Don't think of this as the credits at the end of the movie. This is stuff that people have access to. No, they shouldn't have to open up the show notes to engage with your show, but it might make a lot of sense for you to encourage them to do that. But that means you have to write really good stuff and put it in there. And yes, I also recognize that a lot of the podcast media players, applications, they don't do a good job of displaying show notes. That's not an excuse for you to not do them. That's their bad. And the more people that are doing a good job with their show notes, putting relevant information in, gives those apps and directories and media players more rationale for why they should do a better job of supporting the information. And if you're looking at the big podcasters and saying, well, so-and-so doesn't do it, I listen to their show every day and there's nothing. Well, the big people don't have to play by the same rules everybody else does. They can get away with a lot of stuff. But also, they should be. Think how much better it would be if they would. So, go ahead and do it. So today's episode, hope you enjoyed that one. Still got two more coming out this week. Other things you should do to make your show better. And then I'm taking a little bit of a break. I'm going to take a break for the month of November and December 2019. You'll still get content tomorrow and the next day. I'm not going anywhere. But November and December 2019, the show is going on break because I need a break. Now, you can still talk to me. I still have the flick.group/podcast pontifications app that you are more than welcome to come and join and have a conversation with me. Yes, you can still buy me a coffee, buymeacoffee.com/evoterra, because I'm not disappearing from life. I'm just putting the show on pause while I work on new content. But I'll still be tweeting and all the other stuff that you've come to enjoy and love about me. And of course, if you are in business and you need help with your podcast, the business isn't going on pause. Yeah, just me and this particular show specifically. So get in touch with me, evo@podcastlaunch.pro, or go to podcastlaunch.pro to see a list of what we're doing right now for clients, just like you, all over the globe. See you tomorrow for another Podcast Pontifications. Cheers!